Hello and welcome to the Speaking Soul show. My name is Sri and I'm an alcoholic. Today we will discuss the difference between alcoholism and heavy drinking. So, an alcoholic, like I said before, is alcoholism is a threefold disease. It's got the mind, body, and the soul aspect of the disease, which we have gone through. In a heavy drinker, the symptoms are same. They drink as much or as heavily as the alcoholic does. They have phenomena of craving and obsessions. So how are they different? Well, from the outside of it, you can find no difference between the two. They both have similar stories. They have, good times with alcohol, and then alcohol takes over, and then they have bad times. They both have had their own rock bottoms, and they come to A, right? Now, the only difference is in the third part. A heavy drinker has got the physical and the mental aspects of the disease, but they do not have a spiritual aspect of the disease. Why I know that is because in the doctor's opinion, where Dr. Silkworth writes that if a heavy drinker gets good enough reason to stop, he can stop and stay stopped. See, we know that it's not difficult for an alcoholic or a heavy drinker to stop for a month or two. They have done that many a times. We have all done that, right? It is the difficult part is to stay stopped. Month, couple of months, 3 months down the lane, you start, we have a monkey brain and the monkey starts jumping, and that's how we relapse or we slip, right? So, when Dr. Silkworth explains a heavy drinker, he says that if they have a good enough reason to stop, they will, and they can stay stopped. It can be a health issue, like in my father's case, he had a minor heart attack, and the doctor said that it will not be a sensible thing to continue drinking, and that's it. He stopped drinking on his hospital bed, and he has never had a drink. Hence, he doesn't attend meetings. He just did it. However, not many people have that kind of a situation. Many come into AA because from the outside their symptoms are the same. We cannot easily understand between a heavy drinker and an alcoholic. I would say the difference would be prominent as the length of sobriety increases. So if an alcoholic and a heavy drinker both are about 90 days sober, the levels of energy and the other aspects of these two people will be different. The person who is a heavy drinker would have started sorting out life. Things would start looking good for him. All that he is bothered about is, the few numbers of meetings every week that he has to make sure, and that keeps reminding himself that he has got a physical and a mental allergy, physical allergy to alcohol, because of which he cannot drink, and he can't stay sober, right? And then he works a little bit upon his obsession part, following steps. Most of them, I have seen that most of the people in the fellowships that I attend who have long terms of sobriety, they have not even done the steps because they didn't have to. A good enough reason to stop helped them stop, and since then they did not have the spiritual bankruptcy or the spiritual malady which came to an alcoholic. What happens is after about 90 days of sobriety, the spiritual malady starts taking over, right? He starts the mind starts acting weirdly. Things are not happy, joyous, and free. Thoughts of drinking was better than this. I mean, we'll come to those aspects as well when we discuss spiritual recovery. So the basic difference is this, that a heavy drinker will not have the spiritual malady part of the disease. That's what differentiates between a heavy drinker and an alcoholic. Heavy drinker can stay sober for a prolonged period of time by simple methods of staying away from alcohol, his first drink, attending meetings, being with the fellowship, and that should do well. But there are some, like me, who do not, as time progresses, as sobriety progresses, they become more and more discontented, irritable people, like they were while they were drinking. So that's the difference. I hope I was able to show you, the simple difference. But many of us would, many of you who are listening to this video would be able to reflect as to how things are with them. So whatever you feel about this video, please do share your opinions in the comment section, and together we can go through this journey of spiritual recovery. In my next video, I'll be talking about what spirituality is, what is its meaning for an alcoholic or an addict like us. Thank you, and happy sobriety.